Hey everybody, this is Dr. Flight. Hope you're doing great. I want to talk a little bit about relationship value, and in particularly in the context of customer relationship management, CRM. So when we talk about customer or relationship value, there's value that the customer gains by having a strong relationship with the firm, but there's also value that the firm gains, of course, from having a strong relationship with the customer. So the process and the aspects we talk about with customer relationship management, CRM, really exist to kind of create that value that we're talking about here. So CRM, as we get started here, it needs to be just kind of like put out there that CRM is a combination of things altogether. So it is a functional database set of data, the infrastructure to house data about the customer and transactions and such. And it really deals with kind of the infrastructure set up to be able to kind of do a lot of data mining and AI and algorithmic machine learning type stuff. On top of that, it's a set of processes that happen to make that work. So it's not just the existence of the data sets, but it's also the processes that will engage the data to get the strategy that we want to use for each customer. It also, on top of that, the third layer is that it is a holistic concept that, when done properly, is endorsed and kind of infiltrates, if you will, much of the firm. It's not just a marketing thing. It's not just a sales thing. It's not just a user experience thing. It really is something that is more of a philosophy to where we say we're not a company that makes XYZ. We're a company that delivers value to customers. So it's a little bit of an orientation shift sometimes for companies to truly adopt a CRM program. But at the end of the day, CRM, our goal here is to determine the value requirements of our customers, identify which customers are our most profitable ones, and form these relationships that grow over time as a result of our interactions with customers. So this programming then of CRM should create opportunities for firms to gather customer information rapidly in order to deliver customized value propositions, again, focusing on our most valuable customers. Oftentimes, this is going to be, again, a very data-driven process. So there are going to be a fair number of metrics and measures that can be used to assess the effectiveness of CRM and to gauge whether the performance of CRM is increasing the relationship we have with customers and the profitability of the firm itself. So the goal then is to create and sustain valuable relationships with customers. But as I mentioned, this is not just kind of a one-sided thing. It has to satisfy both companies and customers simultaneously. So CRM, its goal is to identify customers and recognize that their value needs are different, and some customers are more profitable than others. In a CRM program, our goal is to be able to deliver what the customer needs, not more than what they need, because that comes at a cost. I mean, every time we do something for the customer, there's a cost associated with it. And so we don't want to overperform to the point where it's costing us a lot of money, but we certainly don't want to underperform either. Simultaneously, we deliver the value that specifically is wanted or desired by the customer. They get what they want and they pay for what they want, no more, no less. Satisfaction is one of these things that we look at, loyalty and other things, but it's expressed satisfaction as the degree to which a product matches what the customer wants. So there's like this efficiency idea out there that the customer wants X, Y, we don't need to deliver them X, Y, and Z. We just need to deliver them X and Y because that's what they want. And so that knowing what that value is important. Now, other customers will want Z, and we need to know that they want that and be able to deliver that to them. Okay, so this is like a finer tuned way to think of delivering value to the customer. If done well, absolutely, CRM delivers and provides companies a strategic competitive advantage over their competitors. And here's the thing. We are having an advantage over our competitors because we're doing a better job satisfying our customers. At the end of the day, it delivers superior customer value by personalizing the interactions that we have with them. It elevates the firm's trustworthiness and reliability. People think better of the company, as a result of their emphasis on customer relationships. Greater connections, as well. And it focuses the firm's functions and activities strictly around the customer. And that can't be understated enough that having a CRM program, again, sort of moves or evolves the focus of the company away from us and what we do. Yeah, we might build a product, but that's not what we do. We create value for the customer, and we use the product to do that. That's the philosophy change that companies often go through when they construct a CRM program. So when we're talking about a CRM program, kind of how do we go about doing kind of the infrastructure internally within a company? Well, this is just an outline of a strategy, and this comes from the customer relationship management textbook, actually by Kumar and Reinhartz. And there are 5 steps here, and we're pretty familiar with all of them actually already. And just kind of in a snapshot here, value proposition. Number 1 is, in this strategy, in order to form the strategy and use CRM properly, we need to use data. We need to be able to analyze what the customer truly wants and what they value from our value proposition. So what do we need to deliver to the customers very specifically to satisfy them, right? Number 2, how in doing that are we going to make money? What is our financial model or our business case and when I say business case, it's kind of like what is the back end on our side look like from a cost perspective and a sales perspective, money coming in versus money going out, when we deliver the value that we have for these customers. What is the business case? Okay, forming the customer strategy. Now, we talk about this a lot when we start talking about segmentation and kind of grouping customers who behave together. And we're actually going to talk about this right away when we start talking about customer pyramids. And this idea that customers can be grouped by profitability. Oftentimes you look at customers based on maybe how they behave with the product or demographics and things like that. But let's think about grouping customers by their profitability and addressing those customers by those needs in that way. Okay, number 4, transformation plan. Okay, so again, this is a holistic program, and it doesn't really work as effectively if only certain people in the company are doing it or on board. The whole company needs to define and redefine their role with the customer. Okay, then number 5, stakeholders. Communicating what you're doing internally and externally to stakeholders that are focused on the value proposition and whatever role they play in delivering it. So this could go to distributors and retailers. This could go to other third parties who are handling our product and then intersecting with the customer. It could be call centers. It could be lots of folks who intersect with the customer and are part of our value chain. They need to be in the loop too and kind of understand where our focus and our emphasis is in terms of delivering value to the customer. Okay, so again, this is like a framework, right? And this should be viewed as a corporate or business strategy initiative. This is not just a marketing thing. This is not just a short term, we'll do it for a month and see what happens thing. This is a pretty big commitment companies generally go through when they decide to adopt CRM. Okay, now let's come back to this idea of customers that are different in profitability. So not all customers are the same. Some customers, quite frankly, are worth more than others. So think about giving money, having a customer come in, spending money with you, the amount that they spend with you, how often they buy, whether they are likely to stick around and repeat purchase over years and years and years, how much we have to service them, and so on and so forth. It just translates into this idea that some customers are worth more than others. They're more valuable. So there's a lot of research done in defining customers, and this is one research approach that's been widely accepted and adopted. So in terms of describing customers at these different levels, if you will, of profitability. So the highest level is this idea of having a platinum tier or platinum customer. They're the most profitable customer. Obviously, they use the product a lot, not overly price sensitive. So in other words, we can change our price some and they're still going to buy our product. They're loyal. They're committed to our company. They would be advocates for our company. They'd be advocate customers. Another level is called the gold tier. Now, these customers are a little less loyal, a little less committed. They're still very good customers. They're still very profitable, but we may have to do some extra things to kind of keep them happy, I guess. Maybe create a loyalty program for them. Occasionally offer them some customer only, like gold customer only activities, those types of things. Give them some special discounts every once in a while. They're not quite as loyal as our platinum tier customers, but they're still very heavy users. They may also shop around at other competitors, not just exclusively shop with us, but they may go to others as well. Okay, iron tier customers. Our iron tier customers are those customers who spend a lot of money, or there are a lot of them that buy from us, but they buy from others as well, other competitors. We have to give them strong inducements, coupons, sales, special attention for them to buy from us, and they'll still go and purchase from our competitors as well. So even though they're not spending as much with us in the product category, there's a lot of them. They make up the vast volume of your sales in terms of customers, but by transaction, the vast volume of your transaction count will often come from these folks. Okay, then the last tier are the lead tier. Lead tier customers are customers who actually cost the company money. So even though they may come in and purchase, we have to spend a lot of attention, a little time, a lot of effort focused on them. And unfortunately, they're returning the product, or they're complaining, or one thing or another. Oftentimes, they're difficult customers to deal with, and they use up a lot of company resources. So they're not very desirable to have around, quite frankly. Okay, so just think about this idea of CRM in its ability to identify who these customers are and specifically what their needs are, so that we can create a marketing plan that will address each group's needs appropriately. That's what CRM will do for you. And it'll do it in even a finer tuned way than just 4 levels. It can have millions of levels if you wanted it to, and be able to stratify the market really in many, many, many different ways. Okay, so what are some strategies then to implement the customer pyramid and be able to think of how we would manage customers in a relationship? So number one is identify customers and think about ways you can migrate them, move them from lead to iron to gold. Okay, so how can you grow the relationship to move them from the low levels to the higher levels so that they become more valuable? So that should be a goal that for you to have. That should be one strategy that you use. Number two, above all, maintain and hold on to your gold and platinum customers. We want to try to lock them in with that structural bonding concept, or at least social bonding concepts, where they feel obligated to become and be advocates for your firm. So again, these are highly profitable groups, and you certainly don't want to be losing these customers. Other levels, you're gonna have a higher churn rate on those other customers, but these customers, you want to make certain that you're not losing them, and if you are, we need to take corrective measures. Okay. Number three, one strategy here that you might think about is actually looking to eliminate your lead customers. Okay. And when you think about like the churn rate of your overall business, think about who's creating most of the churn. Probably, it would ideally be lead customers who are less profitable. In fact, they could be negative in profitability. So is it okay to lose bad customers? Be okay with the bad ones leaving. And that's kind of a counterintuitive statement sometimes. You don't want to lose customers, but in fact, if the customer's costing you money, you really don't mind if they go look at your competitor as an option. Okay. Number four, consider total revenue, especially in terms of sales volume, not just profit margin. All right, so this is a super important concept. We love gold and platinum customers, but in terms of sales volume and numbers of transactions, they do not make up a large percentage of your sales volume. The iron customers do. Iron customers, while not as profitable, are far more in number than the others. So we have to have iron customer foot traffic. We have to have the regular customers coming in to make up the volume of our transactions. Just for a scale situation, for scale and volume, we need their business. So just be cognizant of this idea that it's not all about profit margin. We also have to accept that, if I have 1,000 customers coming in that have a lower profit margin, I need that foot traffic to, I can't just rely on 20 customers coming in who are platinum and 200 coming in who are gold. I need the 1,000 that are coming in that are iron. Okay, so just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And number five, make sure that we're focusing on, and this is kind of a wraparound just to kind of wrap it up, make sure we're focusing on the unique needs of each tier. Remember, the tiers are identified. We call them out by their profitability, but they're really identified by what they need to be satisfied. Okay, so iron tier customers, they need promotions, incentives, which again cost us money, but they attract value conscious buyers because that's who they are. And platinum customers on the other end there, they need personalized attention, but not coupons. They don't need sales discounts. They want an individual to give them a call every once in a while and make them feel special every once in a while. So understand the relationship and just remember that these groupings are defined by customer need, customer expectations. It happens to be that they also translate into profitability as well, different profitability levels. But the key focus in the execution of marketing at the functional level will be what we deliver to each group. Okay, so this has been a big topic. This is actually you could spend an entire semester just learning about customer relationships and CRM management, or CR management, and such. So this has been a snapshot. I hope you've enjoyed it and gotten some benefit out of it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.